welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Desiree, and on my channel, I talk about all things wellness. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, do that and turn on the notifications. That way you get notified every time I put out a new video. And if you haven't seen my last few videos, you need to get caught up because I have shared a lot of stuff and I'm on a roll, baby. Call me butter, baby, because I'm on a roll. I'm still going. So I just want to take a moment and thank you all so much for those of you who have watched my videos and for all of the support. My last video was about my emotional connection to food, and I got some incredible messages, wonderful feedback, people sharing stories. It was incredible to hear how others were able to relate to that. So if you've not seen that video, check that out. And if you've not seen my weight loss transformation video, which was my very first video that I put out, check that out as well. Today, you're going to be seeing something a little different. So I went ahead and recorded what I eat during the day for about 4 days. And what I did was I tried to show how my food changes based on my activity level. So I do something kind of like carb cycling, where I take in more carbs on days that I'm very active. The thing to take note of is that I have mentioned in my other videos that I do lower carb, but I also pay closer attention to my calories during the day. So I have figured out, after keeping an extensive log, that for my body type and my activity level, my calories are somewhere between 1,800 and 1,900 on a really active day, all the way down to about 1,200 calories on a day where I'm not doing hardly anything. And that's not every day. Most days I'm doing something. So it justifies the amount of carbs that I'm taking in. The other thing to keep in consideration when you watch these segments is that it took me some time to get down to that calorie point. I was much higher when I first started, and I made little changes a little bit at a time. So if you're someone who is consuming about 2,500 calories a day, and you want to get both your calories and your carb content lower, then you want to make those changes gradually. Don't just dive right in and try to get your calories down to 1,800 or 1,700, because essentially what you're going to do is you're going to shock your body and you're going to starve your body. So remember that you need fuel to nourish your body. The other thing that I really want to point out is that I am not a certified nutritionist. I am sharing what works best for me. Now, I do not believe that there is one specific way for everyone to get healthy or to lose weight. Everybody is different. Everybody has different needs, and I've mentioned that before. So take what you can from the little pieces that I show you, and just understand that it may not work for you, or it may not work right away, or you may need to modify it. And I'm big about modifying anything. Make it your own. So if you're interested in seeing what I ate for those 4 days, keep on watching. Good morning. So it is Wednesday morning, December 2nd. I am getting ready to have my coffee. And I should mention that I've changed the way that I do my coffee. I used to actually put butter in my coffee and blend it. And after looking at the amount of calories, when I switched from really full-on low-carb keto, I decided to, and focus more on the calories, I decided to pull back in certain areas. So this morning I am having about 15 ounces. I do measure out and put in 30 milliliters of heavy whipping cream, and I use just a little bit of stevia, and I put collagen in my coffee. So I'm still doing that. So that is what I'm gonna have for this morning. It is about 7:53. And I need to get in my workout. I am not able to work out after I eat in the morning. It's too hard on my stomach. So I'm gonna get in my workout, and then I'll be back to show you what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Workout is done, and I worked out for about 40 minutes. I worked up a really good sweat, and I did a range of cardio, resistance training. I did abs, I did legs, I did all the things. And now Mama is so hungry. So I'm gonna have overnight oats this morning for breakfast. Inside the overnight oats, I have half a cup of oats, half a cup of almond milk, and I have I have 1 scoop of whey protein powder, unsweetened.
And then I have some almond butter in here, but I didn't put in 2 tablespoons, just basically like 2 teaspoons. And I've got some coconut, unsweetened coconut flakes in here, as well as a couple of Lily's chocolate chips, white chocolate, just a couple. And all of this comes to about 450 calories. Because I worked out, because I'm going to have 2 massages, I can easily handle the calories and the carb content, and it's good bulk for my system. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to take my shower. I'll be back to show you what I'm having for meal 2.
It's 9:50 and it is time for me to get out the door. I'm running a few minutes behind, but I'm going to go ahead and prepare my protein shake for later. I've put it on my Facebook page, and I've mentioned, I think, on videos that I meal prep out fruit and I put it in little baggies, and then that way it's quick for me in the mornings. I basically just throw it in my cup. I add in some almond milk. I add in some whey protein powder. Some days I add in chia seeds. I'm going to do that today. And I'm also going to be adding in some prebiotic powder. I do use probiotics. I use them in the capsules, but this is a great way to add in some prebiotic into my diet. And I use this brand here. It's pretty good. So real quick and easy. All ready. I've got my protein shake ready to go. I'm also going to be taking some homemade protein balls that I made myself, and I'll tell you about those later. But for now, I have got to get out the door and get to work. I'll be back. It is about 2:32, and I am headed to pick up my boys from school. Generally, I have to sit and wait a while before they come outside. I have to get in the line, and it takes forever. And by that time, I'm pretty hungry. So today, I'm going to be eating some protein balls that I made. And I put them, I think, on my Facebook page before. They're pretty delicious. They look like this. And they smell good. There's 3 balls. And they're about 300 calories for 3 of them. Some days I only eat 2, but today I'm eating all 3 because I did a 75-minute Synergy hot stone massage wearing double PPE. And then I also did a 60-minute deep tissue massage. So Mama needs some energy to keep on going. So I'm going to eat those, and then I'm going to pick up the boys. We're going to go home, do homework time, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to have for dinner. It's going to be delicious. I picked up the boys. We did homework. We did some stuff around the house. I fed the boys, and now it is time for me to make supper for my husband and I. So tonight we are going to have one of my all-time favorites, and has become his favorite as well, seared tuna. This dish is pretty hefty. In my opinion, it's low in calories. Everything is under like 600 calories, and it has a lot of protein in it. So I'm going to show you how I make my seared tuna as well. I have 2 tuna steaks that I got from the grocery store, and I only buy wild caught pretty much anything. These are wild caught, and I have 4 limes that I have already sliced in half. I have some leftover cilantro from my garden, like the last little bit that I could muster. And then I've got a clove of garlic already chopped up in a bowl. And I'm going to be using avocado oil, and I'm going to be using liquid aminos. I'm going to use a little garlic salt because I use garlic salt for everything. And I'm also going to be using ginger. I am also going to be cheating a little bit tonight because I'm kind of short on time. So I'm going to go ahead and use steam fresh green beans, and I'm also going to be using cauliflower rice. When I buy cauliflower rice, I make sure to read the ingredients. You would be surprised that there are some that put out cauliflower rice and there's actually other things in it like cornstarch. So this literally is just cauliflower and sea salt. So I'm going to go ahead and start by juicing my limes. This is my least favorite part of the whole thing because my lime juice always gets absolutely everywhere. My lime juice is now in my measuring cup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my cilantro, my garlic. I'm going to add some ginger, some garlic salt, avocado oil, and amino acids. So I'm going to do a pretty good amount. I'm going to do like half a teaspoon of ginger because I really like ginger. A lot of times I'll use fresh ginger, but I didn't have any today. I didn't have a chance to get to the store. Put a little garlic salt in there. I don't put a ton in there because the liquid aminos are pretty salty. Add in about gonna do 4 teaspoons of avocado oil. I'm gonna mix everything up. I'm big about smelling my stuff. I'm gonna put in, I guess I should measure it. We'll do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 4 teaspoons for now of liquid aminos. It has to have a specific smell, and I know what that smell is. I'm gonna do 1 more teaspoon. I lied. I'm gonna do 1 more teaspoon. So that's what, 6 teaspoons of liquid aminos? Yeah. That smells better. That's good. It's good. Now what I do is I stab my tuna steaks. And then I take my marinade and I scoop a little on each steak. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna throw it onto a hot pan, and we're gonna continue the cooking process. The key to cooking seared tuna is to put it in the pan and don't touch it. Let it sit. You can see how halfway it will get darker and the pink will disappear, and then you'll know it's time to flip it onto the other side. My tuna is looking lovely, and it's about that time to flip it. Because I find that fish can be very delicate, I have to be really careful with how I flip it, and I also don't want the juices to go splattering all over the place because I'm OCD and anal retentive, and I don't want my kitchen to mess. So I'm going to use a spatula as well as my little flipper. Got a nice sear on that one. I'm going to let it sit and keep cooking, and then right before it's done, I'm going to pour some more marinade over top of it so it's really lovely, and then I'm going to put it on a bed of cauliflower rice. The other thing I am going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. A lot of times, these tuna steaks are actually too much for me to eat at one time. So I like to trim off a little bit from each fillet, and I'm going to save it for later. I'm going to put some cauliflower rice and green beans in a dish and meal prep out another meal. So the tuna is smelling amazing. I have already cut off a couple little pieces to put in for my leftovers. I dressed up our plates with our cauliflower rice and our green beans. All I have to do now is transfer the tuna onto our plates, top with leftover marinade that's in the pan because we want all of the lovely juice and all the goodness, and then I'm going to top it with avocado. And here you have it. Now this is the bigger piece because Daddy get the big piece of tuna. I'm going to have it set out ready for him for when he gets home from work. It's time to dig in. Good morning. It is Thursday morning, 7:54, and my husband has already left to take the boys to school. I am enjoying my morning coffee. I'm going to get in my morning workout. Today is day 4 of my workout. I usually try to work out 4 days a week, so today is day 4. So my routine today is going to change up a little bit. I'm going to have a protein shake this morning with fruit and kale, and then I'm going to take a protein bar to work. I really like these Quest protein bars. I'm going to grab my homemade protein bites that I have that have steel cut oats in them, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna have leftover buffalo chicken soup for supper. We're gonna see. And then it's cold, I might have a hot chocolate with whipped cream later for dessert. Sounds pretty good to me. So I think that's what the plan is for today. I'll be back later. Well, it's about 9:55 and I'm running a few minutes late for work, but I have my protein shake. That's what I'm gonna have for breakfast. I'm gonna hustle on off to the office. I've got 2 massages to do today, and then I'll touch back later. All right, so it is 2:52 and I am sitting at my boys' school waiting for them to come out. They don't actually come out until like 3:15. So I have to be in line waiting for them. Today was a busier day. I had a massage actually at 10:15, which was a 90-minute Synergy stone massage. And of course I wear double PPE for that, so it's pretty hot.
And then I had another 70-minute massage to do after that. So I had to sneak my protein bar in between my clients. And I'm going to have my protein bites now while I'm waiting for the boys. I'm going to do Easy Path tonight for supper. And then maybe I'll make something a little bit more tomorrow. I'm not going to work out tomorrow morning because I have 3 massages to do tomorrow. And tomorrow's my early day. Friday, I'm usually at my studio
Well, I'm
by
back
10 a.m.
home and the boys have already had supper. We've already done homework time. We've done all the things. Now it is time for me to eat. It's been a long day and I have decided to go Easy Path. So I am going to have leftover chicken buffalo soup that I made earlier this week. And I usually use bone broth because I like the extra protein. I do have shredded chicken in here. I have heavy whipping cream, cauliflower rice. I have a little bit of, I have onions in here as well, garlic, and cream cheese. And then I also put in a very low sugar buffalo sauce that I found at the grocery store. And because this is so low in calories, I'm gonna add some extra calories. I'm gonna add in some Colby Jack cheese to the top. And my cheese is all nice and melty. And I'm also gonna take the last of my green onions, no more from my garden. I'm gonna sprinkle them on top. I'm gonna use them all, And that is it. So that's gonna be my supper for tonight. And it's pretty heavy. It doesn't look heavy, but it's very heavy. And it's gonna be quite filling. The boys are taking a shower, and this is a great opportunity to make myself a little treat. I really enjoy a good hot chocolate. And I know that I said in a previous video that I'm not keto. And I'm not keto, and I'm not against keto. And I do a lot of keto-esque things. And I use a lot of products that are labeled keto. When I have a hot chocolate, I do use a keto mix. In fact, I use Slim Fast Keto just because I love the way that it tastes. I have tried other products and it's just my favorite. It's got collagen in it, it's got grass-fed butter and MCT oil. This is the fudge brownie batter. It's delicious. So what I do in order to make my hot chocolate is I use almond milk or cashew milk, and I've got about 8 ounces in my blending cup already. I'm not going to use a full scoop. I'm going to use just under a scoop of chocolate powder. I'm going to blend it until it's frothy. Once it's blended, I'm going to stick it in my mug and put it in the microwave, and then I'm going to make whipped cream to go on top, because you either have to have marshmallows or whipped cream, and these days I'm really into whipped cream. Now I'm just going to pour it into my mug. Stick it in the microwave, and I am going to do about 1:40 seconds. While I'm waiting for it to heat, I'm going to go ahead and take my hand blender. I've already got about 1 ounce of heavy whipping cream in a bowl, and I've got in a separate bowl a squirt of stevia, regular, just plain stevia, and a little vanilla. So I'm going to blend in my bowl, and it's starting to stiffen up already, so I'm going to add in my stevia and my vanilla. It looks like a lot of work, but it's not, and it's so incredibly fast. I'm gonna show you. Already done. And I'm gonna check my hot chocolate, and I caught it just in time. Yep, it's already hot, and it's already kind of frothy on top. Delicious. I'm gonna scoop out my whipped cream and put it on top. There you go. Looks delicious. All is right in the world. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great night. So it's Friday morning, and my day today is very different than the last 2 days. Today, I did not do a workout because I have 3 massages to do today. So on a day like today, instead of focusing on getting in more fruits and carbs, I'm going to be focusing on my protein. And this morning, my husband is home, so he actually made me breakfast. So I'm going to have eggs with spinach and ham. And I went ahead and made myself a different type of protein shake today. So today, instead of having fruit,
I'm gonna have almond milk. There's heavy whipping cream in here. There's creamy natural almond butter in here, a little bit of stevia, and 2 different types of protein powder. I've got whey protein powder in here, and then I have a little bit of that Slim Fast Keto vanilla batter, or cake batter, because I really love the way that tastes. And then later today, in between clients, I'll probably have a protein bar. And then I'll make some kind of really delicious supper later. But today, I'm all about the
Well, it's been a crazy busy day. It's Friday evening, and I'm running a little later than I normally would. I had several clients today, and then I had to go grocery shopping and go to the bank, do all the things, pick up the boys. So tonight, I'm going to kind of throw our supper together a little quickly. And I'm going to do something, a meal that I really enjoy, my husband enjoys, and it is chicken meatloaf muffins. And it sounds a little crazy, but because my husband cannot have red meat, I use ground chicken. So what I do is I put in a food processor ground chicken. I chop up spinach, peppers, zucchini, and then I put in garlic salt, onion powder, Italian seasoning, a little bit of almond flour, and liquid aminos. I puree it all together, and then I put it in a baking pan, muffin pan with silicone liners. I bake it, put a little bit of sugar-free ketchup on top, bake it, and then pop it right on out. And I've got these little meatloaf muffins. They're wonderful. And tonight I'm going to serve it with broccoli and mashed cauliflower. So once I get everything together, I've gone ahead and pureed everything in my food processor. Then I took my silicone muffin liners and I sprayed them with Pam olive oil spray, and this yielded me about 9. Sometimes I'll do a double batch and I'll make several for the freezer. And then I used Heinz tomato ketchup sweetened with honey on top. So they are ready to go in the oven, and I'm gonna bake them at 375. I have made a decision. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I would like to relax and sleep in. So my husband has a performance tonight, and he will be home very late, and he has to work at his regular job tomorrow, and he has to go in tomorrow afternoon. So instead of us getting up tomorrow morning and making breakfast, I decided to make breakfast now. So what I'm gonna do is make a fritta, and it's gonna be low carb. And I know that I have mentioned before that I like to eat clean, but there are times too where I break the rules. Tonight, I'm going to be putting in turkey kielbasa that I've already sliced up. I'm going to use peppers from what was left over from my ground chicken meatloaf muffins, green onions, white onions, spinach. I'm going to put heavy whipping cream in it, and I'm going to assemble everything in my skillet, and then I'm going to I've already gone ahead and cooked up my turkey kielbasa. Now I am heating up my cast iron skillet. I'm going to throw in my garlic and my peppers and my onions and saute them a little bit. I'm going to put everything in my skillet, let it cook on top of the stove for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to put it in the oven. And right about that time, my meatloaf should need to come out. So I'm hoping that the timing works out pretty good. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and take some spinach and just lay it on top, let it get all wilty as well. Whenever I make any kind of dish, I really try to think about how I can get in as many nutrients as possible, and that means anything, any green veggies that I can possibly add, I try to do that. Just like my meatloaf muffin balls, I put spinach, peppers, zucchini, anything nutrient dense, I try to get in there. Looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add in my turkey kielbasa, and I went ahead and separated out some for my boys because they love it, and they're going to want some for breakfast as well. It's looking good. I'm going to add in my eggs. I've got 8 eggs in here and heavy whipping cream. Stir it up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and top it with some sliced green onions because I love green onions. Oh, didn't chop that one up very well. I'll poke it down, nobody will know. And garlic salt, because I love garlic salt. I love it. And I love basil. I'm going to put a little basil on top as well. I'm going to let it bubble up on the sides, and just when it gets to about where it starts cooking in a little bit, I'm going to put it in the oven. And I'll bake it for about 20 minutes.
Yes. Ooh, delicious.
I'm going to let them sit and cool, and then I will go ahead and plate up. I'm actually going to put Daddy's in a to-go container for him to take to work tomorrow, and I'll have leftovers. So I'm probably going to get 3, maybe even 4 meals out of this. I went ahead and cheated, and I've got mashed cauliflower. I bought it from the store. I just did not have time to make my own, and that is okay. And I went ahead and just got a steamer. You know, sometimes I just go for easy, what we call middle path, make it easy. And because I'm extra, I am going to add a little cheese, just a little bit, little Colby Jack, just a little light sprinkle, because cheese makes everything better. Looks beautiful on top. We're going to stick it in about 350 for 20 minutes. Turn off the stove because we don't burn nothing. I was able to get 4 meals out of the chicken meatloaf muffins, and I've got broccoli and cauliflower, and I have 2 meatball muffins with each meal. They're actually quite heavy. They don't look very big, but they're very heavy. I had 1 extra, and I'm going to give that to Big Daddy, and he's going to take that for work tomorrow. So this is his meal for tomorrow. He's got mashed cauliflower and broccoli, so he'll be eating pretty good. And I've got my plate already put together, and I'm going to go ahead and eat, and then by the time I'm done eating, the breakfast for tomorrow should be pretty much ready. I had supper. It was delicious. I did a couple dishes, did some laundry, and just when I got back up, it was time to take the fritta out of the oven, and it looks incredible. So good. Breakfast is served for tomorrow, and then I'll probably focus on lower carbs tomorrow because I won't have a lot of activity because it's Saturday, and I'm going to enjoy myself. Thanks so much, guys. Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon. It's after 12 on Saturday. And on Saturdays, I generally clean house, hang out in my PJs, and I don't do a whole lot of hardly anything. So on days like today, I usually focus on keeping my calories pretty low, and I also eat all of my food in shorter hours. So a lot of times I don't have breakfast until after 11 or 12 o'clock, and then I finish eating around 6. So I've been trying to make sure that I maintain the same weight for several days, and I have so far. So everything that I have shown on the video so far, I've been maintaining my weight. And you'll notice every day has been a little different based on my activity level. So this morning, we are gonna have the fritta that I made last night. I have 1 piece of the fritta, and I'm gonna have 1 hash brown, and this is the broccoli and the cauliflower. And I'll top it with a little sour cream and ketchup as well. Delicious. And this is Daddy's. Then later today, I'll probably have the leftover tuna. So Mama's not cooking today. It's Saturday. Enjoy it. It is 6:22 on Sunday. And yes, I am still in my pajamas. It's been kind of a long day. I've been working on a video and house cleaning, and I just didn't get to it. I did brush my teeth though. It's time for me to eat. So I'm gonna have leftover tuna with avocado. It is brown, and Mama don't care, is what it is. I've already gone ahead and put my sour cream in there. I'm gonna pop the whole thing in the microwave and eat it. Earlier today, I had the fritta, and then somewhere around 2:30, I got a little hungry, so I had a protein bar, and that's it. So I'll have this, and then I'll be done for the night. And that is what I'm gonna consume on my lower carb, lower calorie. Thanks so much, guys, for watching my video. I hope that you were able to get some things from it. And if you've got any ideas or questions or comments, leave them below. I love reading the comments that y'all leave me. Again, I was really blessed. It was a beautiful day. The sun came out even though it was really cold out. And I'm just feeling blessed. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for you. So as I always say, go out into the world, put joy out there, and do you.